Hi there. My name is PH Davis. I make a lot of fucking custom cards here, and I thought I'd give you guys here a nice, quick little tutorial on what I feel is the best way to get a Signature Series MLB The Show card and how to really make yours feel like it came out of the game here. So first things first, you need a creative suite. I'm going to be using Adobe Photoshop here. There are alternatives out there online where you will be able to kind of replicate it there, but Photoshop is kind of the best that's out there for making creative cards here. The other big thing is we are going to be having resources. I am part of a Discord that is with other fellow card creators, and we have a lot of good resources there if you would like to join us. I'll have a link for that in the description here, but I'll show you some of those resources here. So in particular, we are going to be we have all kinds of stuff here, contests we have going on, some fun, nice, just chat shit, where you can post your cards here, but this is where all of our templates and resources are located. So we'll be going to the Signature Series template, or channel, I'm sorry, and a really great contributor to the server, Cal here, recently put up a MediaFire file that has all the logos really well done in the effect that SDS has, that you can download, and both as PNG, so if you're not using Photoshop, you can download them still, as well as PSDs, so you can alter them there. So those are great resources to start from there. And then if you do need the fonts, they should be, do we ever make? No, I've told them to say, hey, let's make a font channel, but within this we have fonts. If you do need them, we have a lot of great resources. I swear we have the fonts somewhere here. Yeah, this is where the fonts will be. It will be in the main template, but if you do stop by the server, just give us a ring, and we will definitely help you guys out finding those fonts that you need here. So I'll pull up Photoshop now. So we have two main ones. The base one, this is the older one, and then this is the newer one. I will be honest, I am a Minnesota Twins fan, so for the time being, we're going to be doing a Minnesota Twins player. I will tell you here in just a second here. And all these different layers here, we're going to be just going through, and I'll show you guys here what I have started and just kind of my thought process for choosing a player photo. So I'm going to be going with Byron Buxton, just a famous guy, and the big thing is there's a lot of good photos. And this is going to be a big thing about your card, is you want to have a good photo. And it pays off more to take a little bit more time and look for a better photo than to go with the first one that you see right away that you like. And there's a few things you kind of want to focus or look for in cards, or I'm sorry, not cards, photos that they have for the Signature Series cards. So a big thing, I have this photo here. Big tip is use references. Use the cards that they already have in game, as they have those rules there. So a big thing we want to focus on is this fade right by the legs. They don't have anything below pretty much like your butt and your waist, maybe at the most your lower leg, but no knees or anything below there. So keep that in mind, one, when you're building your card, and two, when you're looking for a photo. If it doesn't have a knee or anything in the top works, it's possible, but sometimes you just want a full body photo. If you hear meows in the background, that's my cat. Now that's for a picture here. Oh, let me reopen that one. As you can see here with the John Franco card, there's that fade there, but it's nothing below the knee. And it's the same thing with players, position players. It's nothing like at the most, they'll go to the knees there, right below the logo. But that's just something we want to keep in mind for when we're looking for a good photo here. So like I had said earlier, it's better to have more options and kind of find out what you want. versus just going with the first thing that you see that you like. So here, I was kind of showing it before, but I have a couple photos of Buxton that I can choose from depending on kind of what idea I want to go for. Like I like this one, I can cut it off here and we'll be good to go. I like this one, you get the, I like to call these Terminator shades. It just feels like you're honed in and you have a, whole bunch of computers in your fucking glasses right there. Or if I want to go with a little bit more of a position feel, I can definitely use this here. And then I have more batting ones. And don't be afraid to look at multiple photos of the same pose. Sports photography is at such a level that they're taking 1 trillion photos a second. So if you see something you might not like in one photo, there might be something close. And you can kind of see that this is a nice little detail. 25 on the belt buckle. Very nice there, Buxton. But this would be another one that could be fun with the bat swing there. And again, so a big good resource for this is Getty Images or other public places that you can find photos for. They have all kinds of different vibes, different locations, different composures that you can go for, and there's a lot of good sorting tools here. So for the video, for the final product, I'm going to be kind of skipping ahead to get you this photo here in Photoshop. If you want to know how we do it, please join the server here. All right, we are back here. We are in Photoshop. I have my image here, and I'm just going to preface this, by the way. If you do get a photo in your suite and you're using it for a card and you're partway through the making of it and you just don't like how it looks here, don't be afraid to choose another photo. Sometimes it just doesn't work out how you thought it would in your head, and there's nothing wrong with going back a few steps, looking for something different, and getting something that you just feel more confident in. There's nothing wrong with that. It's definitely something big. So what I just did there, I'll actually backtrack here. I clicked on the photo. I clicked on the main level here, and I clicked on this lock. When I click this lock, it goes from just being the background level to just being an open layer. So if I undo it, boom, just the twins graphic effect right there. So what I'm going to do next here is have Photoshop do a majority of the legwork for me. Prior, we would, in the card making community, would almost manually trace the players, or we would find a service online to do that, like an AI. Well, in Photoshop, they have that tool. Under Properties, if you go to Window and you can click Properties, Properties will show up in your toolbar over here. And under Quick Actions, you're going to want to click Remove Background. So what this will do is select the player, but put a mask on the background. So it won't delete those pixels, it will just kind of put the focus on the player. So we're going to do that here, and it will take just but a few seconds. Holy shit, that took so fucking long. Are you kidding me, Photoshop? I kid. So, as we can see, Photoshop has done a lot of the hard work. They've put a mask around Buxton here. We can see that it's not perfect. It cut out some of the leg here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the mask layer. We're going to put our cursor over here, right click, disable layer mask. So all that does is just bring back those pixels, no problem. What we're going to do next, Control. You're going to click Control, and then you're going to click on that layer mask. What that does is put the highlight around that. It selects the pixels that are part of the mask there. So what that does is shows us what the mask is selecting here. And we're going to go about and just kind of make our own adjustments here so we feel like it's fully, like it includes the entire player. So we're going to zoom in here and just kind of see where things might have got cut off. A big thing that always does get cut off, helmets and hats. It doesn't really always check it, so just make sure you're going through. So, come out. Looks like we got them all here. That should be good to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to right click on the mask again and click delete layer mask. We're going to delete it. And then with our new pixel set, we're just going to click this button right here, which makes us a new mask. New mask has all of what we put back in there. What we're going to do next is go up to filter, go down to other, and click minimum. Minimum 1 pixel. Brings the mask in a little bit closer, makes it kind of a little bit more crisp, just so there's no kind of floating lines or anything like that. So what we are going to do now is we're going to go right click again and click duplicate layer. Duplicate layer and change the document to the signature series card that you have up. I didn't change the name of the file from where I downloaded it from, so it's going to be MN Signature 22. So I click that. I'm going to go over. We have mini Buxton here. Small little Buxton, but don't worry, we're going to figure this all out. First things first, I'm just going to make them big enough that I can start to see some pixels if I have anything wrong. Make sure this lock is on so that you're expanding him at the same rate width and vertically. So I'm just going to make them a little bit bigger than I need to here, just so I can go through and make sure that I didn't forget anything, didn't lose anything. Make sure at this point you're on the mask when you're deleting and adding, just so you don't destroy the image before you use them. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit and just kind of go along, see if there's points, he doesn't have a destroyed ear. Alright, so this is the image I'm going to work with here. So the first thing that I'm actually going to do is duplicate the layer. I would like to have an original one just a little bit in case I need to get back to square one. So I'm going to put this original layer pretty much at the bottom of my image, just kind of at the bottom, out of the way in case it's, break in case of emergency. Then the next thing I'm going to do is right click on the mask again and click apply layer mask. Now all those pixels are destroyed and gone. Now I'm just going to turn off the layer, because what I'm going to do next is go down to the names here. I'm going to make sure that I get it all right. So first thing, the last name is going to be DIN regular, but with this bold on. You're going to put the Fox bold on. It gives it that little bit of a nice difference between the first name. And in full caps, you're going to put the name in. Buxton. Bam. Hit you in the face. The buck truck. For position, it's going to again be DIN regular with the Fox bold. And you're going to put their primary position. If you're unsure what their position is, Baseball Reference is a great place. They have links for you to be able to see what position they play a majority of their career or with whatever team. So I'm going to go here because I'm a terrible speller, and I accidentally call him Brian all the time. I'm going to copy his name and then just go over to first. First name is DIN regular again, but with no Fox bold. It is just straight regular. I'm going to copy it. Next thing I'm going to do is make sure that my text are on the same level. So the next thing that we are going to do, that's an empty group right there. So what we're going to do is use our guide photos behind. I like to use the Moosino one, the moose there. I'm going to bring my player image below the group labeled player. I'll explain that in just a minute, but I want to make sure I'm also above the layer with the logo. I'm going to turn my player image back on, and then I'm going to click Control-T to control the size. Then I'm going to try and get that proportions I was saying earlier. I'm going to line the head. I kind of like that right there. I think that's a good level. I think that's a good size for Buxton there. So I'm going to turn off the moose level. Then I'm going to turn on the player image. So the next big thing is in the player folder is this level called white faded. White faded is going to be the fade that we saw in the images online. I'll pull them up. Yeah, this fade right there, that's going to be that fade. So that's already in there. So you just need to turn that on, and you got the fade out on the player. So it's starting to look good here. What we're going to do next is we're going to put some adjustments to the player. Now, the regiment that I like to do is first, I go to Image, and then under Adjustments, go down to Shadows and Highlights. Under Shadows and Highlights, like it says, it's controlling the shadows and the highlights, but it will start you out with 35% and then 0. This will brighten the shadows up for you. Now, I like to put it at 0 and then go up in increments of 10%. A thing I like to keep in mind when I'm doing adjustments here is you want to liven the image up, but you don't want to change the player too much. A big thing is if you start to change too many adjustments, players' skin colors can start to become different. They might become abnormally shaded, and you just don't want that. You want people to retain who they are. So around 30%, maybe lower than that, upper 20s to lower 30s might be good. I think 33% looks pretty decent there. For highlights, I don't like to do too much compared to the shadows because I like to kind of liven it up there, but kind of make it enough that it has a little bit of a graphicness to it. So I think 5% is looking good. Next thing I like to do, levels. And then what you're going to do next is right-click on this level. Get it? On this layer, right-click, and create clipping mask. What that's going to do is just put all of these effects here only to the player level. So nothing in the background. So when we see this, it's just dealing. All right. So the next one I'll do is brightness and contrast. Again, put a clipping mask on it. I'll start out with brightness, see how it looks going a little bit brighter, but maybe I want to go a little bit darker. Bump up the contrast, see how that looks. Yeah, let's go down a little bit. Normally I go up, but we can go down. And then finally, I'll do vibrance. Vibrance is a big thing. We can see on the images, there's almost a graphicness to it. It's not like cartoony, but it's exaggerated almost. So you want to try and get that as best as you can, but again, not make them look cartoony. Let's go 63. 63, that's a good even number, right? So we got all this here. The only thing left we should grab is Buxton's signature. We need to grab his autograph because it's, the signature series here. So what I like to do is, go here, just type Byron Buxton. I can't see, I spelled his name wrong. Byron Buxton autograph. And there's going to be a couple good I really did spell his name wrong. Wow, I'm really bad at that. So there's going to be a couple good places where you'll be able to get photos of his signature. Sports memorabilia websites are always great. Whoa, that's a $25,000 Byron Buxton baseball card. But what I actually do enjoy the most is going to eBay, typing in Buxton, typing in the player's name, and then autograph. And you find there's going to be a lot of different. Oh, you want to click all too. I guess it just put it on. All right, so I have found this signature. I like it. It's clean. It looks cool. We can do something with it. So there's a few ways you can go about highlighting it. One, you could go with the magic wand tool, which if you just press W will come up, and this will select all pixels of a certain shade biome, depending on the tolerance right up here. So if I put it higher, put it up to like, let's say 90, it's going to highlight everything pretty much blue. And I'll click over here, and sometimes you might need to click once or twice to collect all the pixels in one area there. And that actually worked out pretty well. It's, for the most part, most signatures, it will work out that way. So what we're going to do, highlighting these pixels, we're just going to click Control C. We're going to copy it. And we're going to go over to our image, and then we're going to go to the layer that says SIG, S-I-G. This has a color overlay that is the color that they use in the show. So if we just paste our signature on this level, it should be in the same color. So I'll show you guys here. Paste. Bam! It's in that blue. I'll pull up card here. It's that blue. It's that blue. There you go. It's that blue. Bam. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to pull this down. We're actually going to turn off the player level. We're going to turn off the logo. We're just going to turn on one of these cards. And if you want to, you can actually turn off the white fade too. But what we're going to do is we're just going to put our signature, Control T there to bring up the box. We're going to put our card on the same level as the card in the game. We're just going to put it at the same level. Kind of rotate it a little bit. Turn that off to see how that looks. And that's looking good there. I think that's a good little cut of difference. And then we turn it on. We can see maybe they made it a little bit bigger. So maybe we want to make it a little bit bigger. I mean, it's a cool signature. Give Byron his frickin' due. We can kind of see. Turn that off. Yeah, that's looking a lot better there. So I'm going to turn the card back on. I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to turn the fade on there. And we're doing real good here. We actually have just one step left, and that's just going to be to update this diamond right here. This diamond is definitely usable. I just like to use the newest diamonds that the community has made here. So this is also up on the Discord here. I believe I actually might have just put, yep, here it is. Why is it purple? Because it's pretty. So what I like to do is highlight both levels. Again, I say levels, I mean layers. Click Control G to make a group, and then right click, duplicate group, go over to my file, press OK, bam, it's right on the top. And then what I'll do is just kind of make sure that, no, is it rendering it? Why does it need to render it? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Didn't need to do that. There we go. So what I'll do is just kind of make sure that I'm on the same. It's just kind of sitting there. There's no effect on the player. So I have this preset in my own styles in my Photoshop, but it's definitely available in Signature Series here. Just a little bit above it. Signature Series shadow settings. Dun dun dun. This is for the player. They kind of sit there. So I will. So this is what the player shadow settings will look like here. It really is nice. It gives you a nice little gives them a nice little setting there. But again, this is where I will actually put it there, but this is where your card should be pretty much finished here. So yeah, we can kind of see the similarities here. Oh, this card gets under. There we go. That's without the diamond, but we can see there's some similarities here, and it's just a very, very replicable point where we're at with these cards here. So I'm going to click no there, but what you do at this point is you save it and you render it. So I'm going to save it. And There. So this is the final image. I know it looks so different than this one here, but this is what it's going to end up like. So if you guys follow the steps here, I tried to be as basic as I could and tried to explain what I could process-wise here. It is really doable. It's just a few things. If you learn it, you should be good to go there. But the Discord here, the MLB shows custom. Do we have a server profile? I don't know. But yeah, us. If you come here, we can help. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of help. And we're very open to questions there. But apart from that, I hope to see you guys out there making your best and favorite signature series cards. Until next time.